Hey guys, Levelcap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. Escape from Tarkov's latest patch is a big one. Patch 0.11 adds a new map, new guns, quests, armor, ammo, and a bunch of other items. The new map is set in an underground facility called Terra Group Labs. Ex-PMC scav raiders roam the corridors. Unlike normal scavs, they have nearly double the health of regular players and a full loadout including body armor. Taking them down can be very challenging. The map itself is a pretty tightly constructed area, with a few open sections that offer vertical gunplay. Performance-wise, it runs very well compared to the existing maps. The new scav boss is called the Killa and can be found on Interchange. He's got pretty decent armor and gear, but isn't that hard to take out. Next year, the devs will be focused on implementing several new mechanics and features: off-raid healing, character clothing customization, VoIP, skills, weapon presets, as well as further optimizations are all in the works. Last week, we reported on Tarkov's developer Battlestate Games using copyright claims to take down nearly 50 videos by YouTuber Eroctic. Since then, they've withdrawn the majority of the claims except for, I believe, 2 of them in total. Whether or not they intend to withdraw the rest of the claims still remains unclear. It's no secret that the event missions for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds leave a lot to be desired. They're often somewhat nonsensical and don't teach good tactics to new players. Thankfully, it seems like the devs are finally interested in feedback from the community. They posted an official request for mission feedback on the game's subreddit. I'll leave a link to the post in the description, so be sure to leave your feedback if you're interested. It looks like a lot of great suggestions have been made so far. Hopefully the devs implement some of them, if not for the current event pass, then at least for future ones. The 4th and final week of the Overture Tides of War chapter has kicked off for Battlefield 5. With it has come a range of new assignments and a new weapon that you can unlock for the assault class called the AGM-42. It's a very fast-firing semi-auto rifle and could easily contend with the M1A1 for top spot as aggressive semi-auto rifles for the assault class. Sadly, we still haven't seen anything added for the medic for Battlefield 5, which is one of the top requests from the community. Overall, the first chapter brought us 3 new weapons, a lot of cosmetic content, and a new map, Panzerstorm. There's also 2 freebie weapons given out for the holidays, so 5 weapons in total if you want to count them as part of the first chapter. The second chapter, Lightning Strikes, kicks off in January supposedly, and the main feature coming with it is Combined Arms, which is a co-op style game mode. The developers for Ark Survival Evolve released a new early access title this week, and it's been poorly received to say the least. The game is buggy, sorely unpolished, has menu and game assets taken directly from Ark, and is generally just not the game that the advertising suggests it should be. The developers have finally released an update via the game's Steam community page to apologize for the rough launch. They've released a few patches to address the game's various issues, but the overall problem seems to be that the game is just a mix-up of Minecraft and Ark with some pirates thrown in there instead of an epic pirate MMO game. All of this is hot on the heels of a very poorly reviewed Switch port for Ark. Load times exceed 2 minutes, and the game runs sub 720p resolution with the graphics all set basically to ultra low. The nouveaux DRM software that has been a go-to choice for anti-cheat protection in several AAA titles for years may actually cause performance issues. Speculation about de nouveau's impact on game performance has run wild for years. Many games had their de nouveau protection patched out this year, which makes benchmarking them with and without de nouveau possible now. According to an analysis by YouTuber Overlord, load times without de nouveau improved by up to 80% in some titles. Issues with frame time spikes also disappeared without de nouveau. While these test results aren't so great for de nouveau, they could also be a byproduct of performance improvements made between some patches. Regardless, it's clear de nouveau has some impact on games, It's just not clear precisely what that impact is or why it causes problems. The only true way to test the performance impact of de nouveau would be for a developer to run a version of the game with de nouveau enabled and without de nouveau enabled with no other changes made. The fact that many developers are patching it out of their game seems to indicate that there probably is a significant performance impact. Blizzard is reportedly expanding a staff buyout scheme called Career Crossroads. It offers severance packages to employees that voluntarily leave the company. It was initially provided to customer service reps, but was expanded to IT and quality assurance teams this year. 100 employees have apparently taken up the offer. Blizzard has stated they don't encourage employees to quit. They offer the Career Crossroads package just to make moving on a less painful experience. That said, reports from former employees suggest that the company is feeling pressure from Activision to cut costs and maximize profits. The recent announcement of a mobile version of Diablo 3 is supposedly evidence that Blizzard is changing to be less quality-oriented than they've been in the past. Blizzard also shut down their Heroes of the Storm MOBA esports program out of the blue. Battle Royale shooter Ring of Elysium has a new game mode with survival mechanics called From Dusk Till Dawn. Players fight over food, fuel, and indoor cover from a deadly winter storm to stay alive. You win by surviving until sunrise, which takes about 20 minutes. Overall, it seems like an exciting spin on the Battle Royale genre. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be widely available yet. For now, it's only available at specific times. Fallout 76 players who are disappointed with how the game turned out will have something to look forward to in the new year. In January, Bethesda are giving out the Fallout Classic Collection to anyone that logged into Fallout 76 this year. That includes Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics. While the Classic Collection is only available on PC, these games will run on just about anything. Watch Dogs 1 just got a massive mod that implements a ton of new features and content. Called Living City, the mod adds full-length custom missions, random events, building interiors, restricted zones, and new hacks that add more variety and depth to the overall game. The mod took a year to develop and does a lot to help the game live up to its original vision. That said, for everything this mod adds, there's plenty of amazing new features in the game's sequel, Watch Dogs 2. Subnautica is also getting a pretty big mod. Modder Sunrunner has released a very early version of their Nitrox co-op mode for the game. It currently supports synced player movement, basic animations, base building, item dropping, and basic chat systems. The goal is to get the game fully playable in co-op. That will take some time and the mod's current state is very rough, but its open source has the blessing of the game's developer, so hopefully the progress will go smoothly. It looks like Sniper Elite version 2 is getting a remaster. This game is praised as a high point for the franchise and was itself technically a remake of the first game, but from a different perspective. Right now, all we have to go on is a listing of Sniper Elite version 2 remastered on the Australian classification website, but it's likely we'll see an official announcement sometime soon. A fan-made remake of the classic Zelda game Ocarina of Time is now playable. The entire opening of the game, including its first dungeon, can be played from start to finish, all in the glory of Unreal Engine 4. The remake's developer CryZenX has been working on it for years and the efforts show. While certainly not as polished as a proper Nintendo release, the remake offers an interesting take on a modern version of Ocarina of Time. In our final story this week, everyone that logs into Rainbow Six Siege by January 1st will get a free holiday pack that contains a random DLC operator. If you have all operators unlocked, it will instead give you 25,000 renown. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. It's actually the last news report for the year 2018, and a lot has happened this year, especially in the first-person shooter world. 2018 to me is definitely the year of the Battle Royale shooter. There's been so much competition in the Battle Royale market, many indie shooters, many AAA shooters, all competing for that #1 seat. Obviously, Fortnite is king of the hill right now, but there's many other top competitors out there, and it's really kicked off the esports and the game streaming scene in a way that we've never seen before. So 2018's been great. I'm very curious to see what happens in 2019 for the first-person shooter world. Will Battle Royales fizzle out, or will they become even bigger, or maybe they'll evolve into some new genre entirely? As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the new year. This is Level Cap, signing off.